Hello. Before we begin, I would like to talk about the allegations. Some people that I know have tried to make the claim that I am not the pro bullet hell speedrunner that I claim to be. The absurdity of these claims, the mere idea that I am not a bullet gamer. That's an industry term there. That's what we call ourselves in the industry as bullet gamers. The idea that I am not a bullet gamer is so preposterous to me that it fills me with rage. There are actually multiple reasons why this is not true, and I will go through them now. One, it's a YouTube video. It's not real. It's all just editing. It's movie magic. I'm just, oh, look, you got hit. Yeah, because I edited it to look like that because I want the video to be suspenseful, but it's not real. Two, even the footage that I'm showing is still top of the line speedrun worthy gameplay. You just haven't seen enough speedruns to know. And even then, it's still not my full power. And three, I'm mad, so I forgot the third thing. So today we are going to quash, systematically destroy those allegations by doing a no-hit run of this game, which just is all of the elements of dodging boiled down into a single roguelike. I have plenty of stuff to talk about. I'll be doing so while playing as always because I'm skilled enough to do so, and you won't see a hit out of me. I think I will play as a wizard because I'm a wizard on the keys. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was actually anger, which is kind of very fitting. I recently saw a video online of a group of women who paid $6,500 to go out into the wilderness and scream while beating the floor with sticks. And I know that sounds crazy, which it is crazy. I don't know why I said it like that. There's no but. It is crazy. I mean, you could literally go out and do that for free, and it would not be hard to do. And clearly the lady who's running it is taking advantage of the women. But, you know, just like anything, or any scammer, I should say, there are modicums of truth to it. It's a big word, by the way. I know that word. It's true that getting your anger out in a non-harmful way is important, but screaming and hitting the floor with sticks is just going to be helpful for like a week. And then all the stuff that made you angry is still going to be there. And so that got me thinking, because we have such a weird relationship with anger. It's an important emotion. It has its uses. Inside Out taught me that. You know, if someone... It looks like the boss sped up time somehow, and I think I took a hit off that too. That's a weird ability, guaranteed hit. I don't know what that's about. Anger is important. If someone came up to you and lopped your arm off, and you looked over and you went, huh, that would not be an appropriate response. Anger is meant to be there to help you stand up for yourself. It's supposed to protect you. The problem is when... And this is not meant to be mental health advice. This is fun advice. It is not that we are supposed to get rid of our anger. It is about how we get that anger out on a consistent basis in a healthy way. At least in my opinion. The real problem is that anger comes up in situations where it's not really protecting us. We're just mad. The only real thing in danger, let's be honest, is like our pride, right? But our brains just don't fully comprehend that. So like when you're playing League of Legends, let's say, and you're controlling this little guy, you're not that little guy. But you might as well be. When that little guy is being killed because of a gank mid lane, that might as well be your life essence there. When Cassante pushes you through a mountain and takes you out the other side, and then beats the snot out of you despite being a tank. Why does he deal so much damage, right? Hello. And then, you know, you get really mad, And even though you know you shouldn't, you wait for them to make some kind of mistake, and then, you quickly type in the chat, oh, this is why you're the same rank as me. And that's not a smart comeback. You're basically just insulting yourself, too, and it'll make you feel bad later. It doesn't really help anybody. But when you're angry, your brain doesn't understand that. That's what anger is about. It makes us say and do things that we wouldn't normally do because we're just not working at full capacity. And that's why you need consistent ways to get your anger out. It's not about bursting with rage, because that's not helpful. But it's also not about holding it all in until you need to go out into the woods and beat the ground with sticks while screaming. It is about consistently, day to day, having a healthy way of expressing your anger. So that's why I have a situation. I used a move there that took up my max life. I wasn't able to show the move set, but that ability took one of my max life points there. I'm not quiet because I'm focusing, by the way. I'm just quiet because this is a very cinematic scene. I wouldn't need to focus, so it's a very easy boss. Theoretically, this is all just hypothetical, but theoretically, if I were bad at bullet hells, if I were bad, I am sure that they would make me angry because they would remind me of my failure. Whenever a bullet would come at me and I would... Oh, what? I fell asleep. What? I don't know what happened there. Oh, did I get hit? What? That sucks. Unavoidable. Every time that I theoretically got hit by something, it would remind me of what a failure I am. Whenever there is something coming at me at Mach -30 in a straight line, after making all the calculations, after giving it all my thoughts, I just, for some reason, decide that dodging straight into it is the best decision, even though it's the worst possible outcome of all the things that I could have picked. Hypothetically. It's not real, but hypothetically. Just like that's not real. Nothing happened there. Okay. I fell asleep a couple times. I've been really tired. That's where the anger comes from. It reminds you of a flaw. I can only focus on one thing at a time. Or 4 things. 1 or 4 or more. It's just theoretical anyway. It's not real. But when I am reminded of that failure, when I feel that anger, I have a choice to make about how I want to express it. And for me, when I get hit, the way I express that is by going, yeah, okay, dude. I'm not blaming the game. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just expressing how I feel. And maybe people will laugh at my suffering. And if they laugh at my suffering, that might help me feel just a little bit better. If this was real. So that's what I would say. Have something to consistently get your anger out. That's my fun advice to you. And this is the boss, which should be easy enough, as I've proven so far. They're messing with my gravity for some reason, as if that's gonna matter or whatever. This boss does have a lot of health, but I have a lot of brain. There's a lot happening right now, I'm noticing. Not that I can't handle it, I'm just unavoidable. As a second phase, huh? Kind of thought with a health pool like that, you'd just be a 1-phaser. Do I just not deal damage, or is the health just large? Nothing happened. Okay, so now that our test run is over, I think I've mapped out the speed run. As you can see, we got to the final level up there. I think that's what that means. The question marks are probably the credits, I would assume. So now we'll be doing the run for real. Probably pick a different character this time, just because, that doesn't really play into the mapping or anything. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about anger. But related to that, there is the question of why. Why do we play video games that make us angry? Throughout history, there have been many people, deep philosophical thinkers that have talked about this. I believe there was a philosopher in ancient times that was quoted as saying, "Do not ask why doth Cassante deal so much damage. Ask why doth I keep playing against him." But I feel like everyone kind of overcomplicates things to some extent. Everyone always tries to find this really complicated answer to why we would do this thing. But I don't think the answer is very complicated. It's really just that you think that things are going to be different than how it turns out. Even the games that make you angry, at some point you probably enjoyed them, or you wouldn't have started playing them to begin with. You probably still enjoy them when you win. And a lot of games are balanced towards being, 50-50 win rates if you're at the skill level that you're supposed to be at. So there's a perceived value in playing. You think, when I win, or when I do this or X or whatever it might be, it's going to be fun. And you naturally assume that you will probably win eventually. So when you're on your 7th loss, even though losing probably puts you in a bad mindset and you have a much lower chance of winning than normal, you're still thinking, well, this will be the time. This will make it all worth it. I'm going to have fun this time. In my head, I'm just like picturing a machine that has a button on it. And every time you press the button, it has a perfect 50-50 chance to either provide you with the greatest, most delicious snack known to man, or bash you in the head with a mallet. And after pressing the button 5 or 6 times, and you've been bashed in the head 5 or 6 times, you turn to your friend. Your friend's like begging you to stop. And you turn to your friend, your mouth is bleeding, your face is all bashed up, and you just go, "No, dude, this one's the one. If I stop now, all of the brain damage will have been for nothing. Like, I'm gonna get this snack." There's no real deeper answer. I think people want to think that there's a deeper answer, but really, at the end of the day, we're just kind of dumb, and that's okay. We're allowed to be dumb, as long as you have people around you that will tell you how dumb you are. Reading. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, I know we just talked about anger, but even just thinking about this one gets me peeved off. Sorry, language, I know. And I'm not talking about anyone in particular here, okay? This is not people that I know or anything. I'm just talking in general. It's not meant to be targeted. It is a huge pet peeve of mine when people add extra steps to very simple conversations. And I feel like I can only really explain this via example. So like if someone comes to me and says, "Hey, do you want to watch a movie?" Yeah. Okay, dude. Yikesers. That was an unfortunate situation. Oh my gosh. Okay. So if someone comes to me and says, "You want to watch a movie?" And I go, "Sure. What do you want to watch?" And they say, "Oh, I don't know. What do you want to watch?" A step has been added at that point. They didn't have a movie in mind when they asked, that's fine. So I suggest a movie. And then they respond with, "I don't know if I want to watch that movie." Okay. Now we're starting to get a bit frustrated. So then you say, "Okay, well, what kind of movie do you want to watch then?" Trying to get a lay of the land, figure things out. And then they say, "Oh, I don't know. Why don't you give me some ideas?" This is when we have a problem. There is now a problem. You came into this without a plan of action, and now we are in a sea of uncertainty. They just keep asking questions and not giving solutions to the thing that they invited you to do. And so eventually I just get fed up and I'm like, you know what? Either pick something or we're just not, I'm doing something else. And they go, "Okay, well, calm down, dude. Like, you don't have to get mad. Calm down. You calm down. How about you calm down your questions and pick something? You ever think about that?" That was not even close. You've added like 12 steps to what should be a one-step process or two-step process. And it's exhausting. It exhausts me. Not even hard. And each like extra step is more exhausting. It's exponentially more exhausting. Step 1 is fine, but then step 2 and 3 multiply. It's just a graph straight up in the exhaust. Like at the end of the conversation, I feel aged. I feel like I left the conversation older than when I got into it. It's like you have a point A and a point B, and you can see the straight line from point A to point B. But your friend holds you back and goes, follow me. And then they do like these zigzag motions, and they do little dodge rolls and stuff. And when they get to the end, they turn back to you, look at you expectantly. And every time you try to walk in a straight line, they go, I said, follow me. It's exhausting. And I'm going to take a second here because I'm getting heated. And I, you know what? The gameplay doesn't matter. Gameplay's not important right now. This is important. There is a tier up from that. And that in the world of exhausting conversations. And that is when people play Devil's Advocate. When someone plays Devil's Advocate, I'm immediately triggered. Again, I can only explain through example. If somebody comes up to me and says, like, what's your favorite food? And I respond with, eggs. And then they respond with, well, why? What do you mean, why? So then you respond with, oh, I like the taste of them. They taste good. Okay, but why do they taste good? And they keep asking you questions. Like, oh, I like eggs because they're good with these meals. Oh yeah, but why are eggs better than other? Dude, it is a simple equation. You asked for information. I gave you the information. And then you push the information back to me and say, please correct this and then give it back. What are you, my teacher? I'm not writing an essay on eggs. I'm just telling you what I like. And this comes in all of different forms, but there's actually a tier even higher than that. And I know I'm supposed to play the game, but this is important. When someone, after playing Devil's Advocate, then plays Reverse Devil's Advocate, when he does that, it makes me so mad. I'm not talking about someone I know. When I said he, I meant like an AI or stranger or something. When I finally admit and be like, okay, you got me. I don't know why I like eggs. Eggs maybe aren't that great. And then they respond with, well, I mean, eggs are high in protein. Hold on a minute. It sends me into the stratosphere. My life literally flashes before my eyes because I'm going to have a heart attack. It's like talking to a maze where there's no reward for getting to the other end. I went through the maze and got to the other side and my reward is that I feel tired now. I want to go to bed at 4 p.m. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I'm ready to focus on the boss now. As we saw, this should be the end of the run since this is, the final boss. We saw that before. Thankfully, I've planned out the entire run through this time, so this should be the optimal speed for beating the boss. Despite this being the optimal speed, I am noticing that he still does have a lot of health. There's so much information on screen, and I am capable of understanding. Oh, okay. Well, now he's in bird form, so we've achieved bird locked in. It's like Simon Says, but for babies. I'm sorry, is this supposed to be hard? I mean, this isn't real. Yeah. Well, that went exactly according to plan, as expected. It was a good run. Oh. It would appear that in a recent patch they must have added like a bonus zone. Reading. But I mean, I still won't get hit. So, it's not a big deal. What is happening? This seems like a lot of colors. Within expectation. Not that I'll need it, but I kind of thought I'd get more health there. Get some health back. Easy. Yeah, okay. Sure. The arrows were not enough to show that, I don't think, personally. I'm just, It's moving awfully fast. Excuse me. Conniption incoming. We're about to get to Conniption Town. Yeah, you know what? This isn't real. None of this is real. It's a YouTube video. It's all just shapes and colors. It has no meaning. It means nothing. So, that was my limited hit run of Rabbit and Steel. We managed to get further than anyone else. Currently, the new bonus area there at the end was added in the latest patch, which happened minutes ago, I'm sure. They might need to nerf that boss at the end there. That seemed a bit ridiculous. But I mean, if this unedited gameplay did not beat the allegations, then I don't know what will. The footage speaks for itself. I'm a bullet gamer. So I think that's everything. What advice do I give today? What fun advice? When it comes to anger, being okay with your flaws is important, unless you're a speedrunner like me. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, that needs to be nerfed.